This is the last question, so to speak, in our interview process. I do this video because I want to make sure that it's perfectly clear what our expectations are for teachers in classrooms at Los Ranchos. I want to make sure that you understand exactly some of the things that we're expecting and some of the things that we want to see happen in classrooms. They're very important to us. It's why I spent the time to make this video. We love our students. Let me say that again. We love our students. We also know that we enroll a family, not just a child at our school. They come as a package. We also understand that we have a moral obligation to be awesome educators to our children, the children here at this school, every single day. We never run down the family of a child. When we tell a child by our actions or our moods or attitudes that we don't like their family, we're telling them by extension that we don't like them. We are not going to do that. We are never going to harm a child physically, emotionally, or academically. Non-negotiable. We are in this commitment to children for the long haul. It doesn't end with your class year. It ends, and we think about children and the things that we're going to do for them to get them to graduation, and our commitment is 100% for the child. Teachers take responsibility for the rooms and what happens in them. That is your sole concern. The atmosphere you build in that classroom and the relationship you have with those children in your classroom, the love you show them in that classroom, is your responsibility, and that's what you have to own. The preparation you put into that instruction on a daily basis, and being ready to give kids what they came here to get, which is a solid education, that's your responsibility. What we don't take responsibility for is what happens outside of the classroom and outside of the schoolhouse. Things we don't have control over, but we have a lot of concerns about. That's outside of something we can control, and you can't take ownership of that. You have to let that be an understanding for yourself, for you, and for what you're going to do for that classroom. So when the child has a bad weekend, the child comes in from a weekend not ready to learn, you don't force learning on that child, you just expect that child to do their best. And if their best isn't near as close to your expectations, you understand that that child is doing their best. And you let that child have that day, and you give that child what they need so that they can engage in the learning the best way that they can that day. And you hold the expectations high, and you keep the understanding high that they're not always going to give their best. Their best on every given day is going to be at different levels. And that's okay with you as long as you're giving their best. So when they come in and they haven't slept all weekend long, you're going to understand that, and you're going to say, can you give it your best today? And they're going to say yes. And they're going to say, you need a break. I do need a break. Okay, give them the break. You're also going to teach the rest of the children in your classroom that everybody's best on every given day is not the same. And everybody's going to get what they need so that they can learn. You're not going to let other students in your classroom ridicule other students because their best isn't as good as what they did or as good as they have done. You're going to teach students to be kind to each other and to care about each other by showing love for each student and letting them get what they need so they can access the reason they came to school, which is to get an amazing education from you. We're going to demand that you show kindness to yourself. Nothing can be more important for me is that you be a model of kindness, and that kindness has to extend to you and your family. If you can't model kindness to other people and kindness for yourself, then you can't show students that they have to be kind to themselves too. Be kind to yourself. Make sure you're taking the time and energy it takes to sharpen your saw so that you're the best for students on every given day. That's an expectation of our school. This is a classroom. This is it. This is where your magic is going to happen. Here's some things that we believe. We believe everyone is a leader at this school. Everyone. You. are going to be an example of leadership for the students. You're going to ask that students also be examples of leadership for each other. We understand that, we celebrate it, and we know that the only way we're going to teach leadership is by students making some mistakes along the way. And we're going to say, hey, how could that happen better? How can we use, and we've got some language that'll support you in that, and it's amazing. We celebrate leadership all the time. We want you to be celebrating when you see leadership in your classroom and using it as a teaching point for your students. We want everyone to be at this school to be independent. That means there's going to be some learning that goes on. That means that there might be some mistakes going on around that area, and we want everybody to start working interdependently with each other, synergizing. That's fantastic stuff and really powerful. Here's some other things that are just non-negotiable 100%. We only teach Benchmark for ELA. That's the curriculum. That's what you're going to teach. Eureka for Math. That's the curriculum. That's what you're going to teach. And we do something called the first 8 days of school. It's a curriculum given to us by the leader and me, and we teach that on the first 8 days of school, and that provides us a foundation for your classroom to gel into a team that's going to work great for the rest of the school year. I demand 100% that you're planning for your differentiation in the classroom. You have to know how you're going to reach each student differently every day. So you know that you're going to plan for that in your lesson planning, and you're going to also look for it formatively within the lesson that you're teaching, and then you're going to differentiate the lesson for what the student needs, because every student needs something different. We can group some of those students, but every student is going to get something different in their instruction, and we're going to have a plan for that every single day. The last thing is the language of the standards. When we talk about where we can do better at this school, it's at the language of the standards. Our academic language needs to be higher. Our students in general have no problem with social language. They do have a problem understanding what a word like subtraction, multiplication, division, when they see and try to read that word, what that exactly means, because sometimes we're using other words for those academic actions that we're looking for students to be able to do, and when they run into that situation, sometimes they don't do as well as we know that they can do. We know our students are smart and capable. We just need to make sure that the language that they know reflects that 100%. Okay, this bookends the end of our video. It sets some expectations for staff members that are going to join our team here at Los Ranchos. We want to build the best and strongest team at Los Ranchos for students. We appreciate you being a candidate for the position. I understand that you have many choices about where you work, who you work with, and how you work. So thank you for applying for this position. Best of luck in the application process, and we hope to have an amazing future together.